It's me, 3Dog, and you're listening to Galaxy News Radio. Someone's been scattering holotapes everywhere labeled the Capital Wasteland Travel Guide. If you find one, give it a listen. The information may be useful. This next location is considered to be one of the most memorable ones across the Fallout series, especially this one here in the Capital Wasteland. Super-Duper Mart appears across Fallout 3, 4, and 76. Advertising for the grocery store chain can be seen across the wastelands. As we know, a grocery store or supermarket is one of the most important shops in a society as they retail a general range of food and household products that we regularly need to survive. We often take it for granted how easy it is and how easy it makes our lives to just walk in and buy what we need, thanks to the employees that keep the shelves regularly stocked. And yet, as we have also more recently seen in real life with the current COVID pandemic situation, supermarkets are the first to suffer the unnecessary panic buying extremes of civilians. In Fallout 3, we find ourselves roughly 200 years after a great nuclear war, the Great War. At this point, it would be safe to say that the Super-Duper Mart has long been raided of toilet paper, household cleaners, canned foods, and more. As you arrive to the Super-Duper Mart and approach the parking lot out in the front of the store, you're greeted with a few hanging corpses giving a clue to the presence of raiders. If you're not careful, two raiders standing guard by the front doors will quickly approach and give you a warm welcome. Also here in front of the Super-Duper Mart, you'll find two Nuka-Cola vending machines with possibly some loot. Entering the Super-Duper Mart, you'll find it to be a great representation of what a supermarket is here in the DMV. There's plenty of shopping carts and more vending machines near the entrances. Cash registers all lined across the front of the building, and aisles upon aisles where product would be on display for purchase. Across the top of the shelving, the raiders appear to have placed a series of planks that make patrolling the store easier. Entering from the left side of the building, there's a hallway that leads to the men's and women's restrooms. The raiders appear to frequently walk this area. However, entering from the right side of the store, you'll find a small open room with a counter and a lot of loot in this area. This side of the Super-Duper Mart also appears to be less patrolled, making it easier to access the back of the supermarket. In the back by the pharmacy is where you'll find the other majority of the loot available. And what might be helpful is in the back room a Protectron that can be activated to help you fight against the raiders. The Super-Duper Mart is definitely a must-go-to location and can be done so early in the game. There are random encounters in the parking lot, and this location is filled with so much loot like Tales of Junktown, mini nukes, medical supplies, and my favorite Nuka-Cola Quantum, and more. But where is the Super-Duper Mart in real life? In game, the Super-Duper Mart sits a direction southeast of Springvale, just on the edge of the western side of the Potomac River, right outside of Washington, D.C. and Arlington, Virginia. So let's use what we do know to locate the Super-Duper Mart in real life. Because it's roughly in line with Springvale, we'll use this as the best possible starting place. And because we know where DC is, we can safely say that we don't have to travel into these areas to look for it. If we move our way east from here, we'll eventually reach an area that has several pharmacies and two supermarkets. This area is already a pretty good place to claim as the location of the in-game counterpart. But to make sure, we'll travel further east towards the Potomac River, and we'll find the next closest supermarket is southeast of this location, which happens to match the in-game direction more accurately. At this point, I think it's safe to say that we've found all possible choices for our Super-Duper Mart location. We can also safely say that all of these in real-life locations sit out of sight from the Potomac River, unlike the in-game location. Knowing this, we can start looking at the stores to determine which location is going to be the best representation of the Super-Duper Mart in real life. Before we get started, I want to say that we're only going to be focusing on the exterior of the store. We're not going to be looking at the interiors. And this is because even the in-game location is kind of weird with the exterior versus the interior. The exterior of the in-game Super-Duper Mart is just a rectangle, while the interior has protrusions that doesn't show up on its exterior, like the storage room behind the pharmacy and the bathroom area, which extends outwards past the store side. Let's start with the first area we bumped into. I'm going to have to rule out the random pharmacies in this area. This is because the Super-Duper Mart is a supermarket with a pharmacy, and not just a pharmacy on its own. The smaller of our two first locations is this Safeway here, and though the parking lot could be a reasonable size for the in-game version, the layout of the store is completely wrong. It only has one entrance, and there's no windows across the center of the store. So for that, I'm immediately going to have to rule this one out. This can't be our Super-Duper Mart location. This second location is a giant food store, and it has some potential for being the Super-Duper Mart. It has two entrances, one on each side, and large windows in the center of the store. This very well could be the Super-Duper Mart. But before I rule this one as our location, let's go check out the third one that we found and see what we have. This third location is a much closer match to the in-game counterpart for the Super-Duper Mart. It has entrances at both sides, it has the large windows across the center of the store, but it also has that curvature to the roof in the very center, which for me is an added bonus. So with those clues, I'd have to say that this is the proper location for the in-game counterpart of the Super-Duper Mart. I know many of you have been waiting for this episode, and it's taken me some time to travel to this location, specifically due to the continuing issue of the current COVID pandemic. I'm going to start spreading out across the Capital Wasteland to less crowded locations that will put me less at risk until the situation improves. If you like this video, do me a favor and drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me. So until next time, I'll see you all at the next location in the Capital Wasteland. Until then, stay safe in the wastelands and wear your mask. See ya.